Welcome to the SpareNoEffort Podcast with Jeremy, Derek, and Justin. Let's get this thing started.
So we can go ahead and start this thing, man. What's been up with you, brother?
Man, nothing much, man. Just same old thing. Working, taking care of the family. That's it.
And so this is the SpareNoEffort Podcast. Of course, we like to say the podcast for the people, but who we particularly try to speak to is those that look like us, those that are from environments like the ones we're from. But even those that don't look like us, even those that share some type of struggle. We really want to inspire people to be their best selves. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I'm starting to notice with our culture, and we spoke about this before, majority of our culture is nothing but trolls.
Yeah.
Nothing but trolls. Just constantly want to down other people or make fun of other people's situations or certain things. And it's like, if you put that time towards like something that is, more healthy or even more beneficial for you, we would all be a lot more better off. Y'all would be a lot more better off. You know what I mean? You get things like people live to troll.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look on social media, bro, it's so, draining. All you see, like people get extra food stamps. Oh, I bet y'all refrigerator's gonna be full. Oh, I know the bootleg gonna be, on fire today or something like that.
Yeah.
But people don't, it's like it's hard to really get through to people and try to get people to break their bad habits. Even myself, I'm still constantly trying to, break bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think so. The point of this podcast, and we're also working on a documentary. We want to have balance. You know what I mean? We want to get the people like from my neighborhood and those that like to see the error in their ways and to start holding themselves accountable. But also we want to get people that's not from our neighborhood to see the reasoning, explanation behind these issues. So I think that's what we're trying to do, is try to have balance. And of course, people from our hood, I don't know if they think this, nobody ever said this to our face at least, may call us Uncle Tom. You know what I mean? People may, people that's not from our neighborhood may think we're delusional, or, you know what I mean? But that's what we're trying to do, is get people to see the error in their ways, but also get people to see the reasoning behind that way of thinking. You know what I mean? So when you look at one of the terms, and I've spoken about this before on previous episodes, and spoke about it before, and just conversing with you and other people, is cultural relativism. That's the basis of that ethical term that I learned is, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So if you look at like the African American, especially down south, we're real religious. So our culture is, we believe in God, of course, but also Jesus. Whether you're Baptist, or Church of Christ, or
Right.
Whatever the other ones is, that is culture. That's all we know growing up. And now we're at an age to where I'm not going to say we just are completely non-believers, but we do kind of question other things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
So when you put that into practice, when you put that into perspective as it pertains to other things, right? So if you're taught, like, ain't nothing wrong with stealing, you know what I mean? Like, You gonna steal from a grocery store or whatever the case may be. We all probably stole. Even myself, who was considered a goody two shoes at times, I stole. I went through a period of stealing from stores and everything. By the way, I don't know, like statute of limitations is up, right? I guess I just incriminated myself.
Yeah. I'm sure too much time is passed.
Yeah, but no, but even like as little boys, we're taught to, if we're emotional, if we cry, women and males, older women and males, man, stop all that crying. You a little boy. So what happens? That sadness turns into anger. If you experiencing anything other than joy, you're experiencing anger. So that's just the culture. That's just the way it is. We're taught to handle situations with our hands. We're not taught to handle conflict reasonably. You know what I mean? We're just taught to, regardless of if the odds are stacked against us. You know what I mean? It can be 3 or 4 dudes there, and you still, ready to put them up. Or the dude can have a gun, or you don't know what the dude can have, and you know what I mean. You still ready to do whatever. So that's the culture, how we act, the trolling. You know what I mean? The anger, the grown men our age and older out there, with their phone recording fights. That's part of the culture.
Yeah.
And we haven't, we've had to take some time off for, technical difficulties and a lot of other things going on. But man, it was Labor Day weekend, lost, a few people that I knew. Well, 3 total. Over the time, like there's one gentleman, rest in peace, Stevan Williams, he passed. Another guy that we went to high school with, he passed. I think that was COVID related. My coworker, God rest her soul, Carrie Henderson, she passed from COVID. You know what I mean? Another gentleman, Jermaine Norman, he used to drive buses for Metro. And he drove for us on during the summer. He passed away from COVID. And then the mother of Vez's child, no, I'm sorry, the Vez's sister's child's father and her boyfriend, they was in a bad car wreck.
Right.
And
he passed, right?
Yeah, he passed. So I don't know, man. It just put things into perspective. You know what I mean? Like, why are we wasting all this time like BSing? You know what I mean? And I guess, and I've kind of been like reaching out to you and Justin, like, we got to get this back started. We got to start putting things into, motion and putting things into place, because like you realize, like, time is so short. And Justin, now, time is short, and you think about the time that we've wasted on things that don't matter. You know what I mean? The time that we've wasted on things that don't matter, and we could be trying to set up our future. You know what I mean? Doing things to really set up our future. And our kids' future, and just try to start, creating generational wealth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What up,
Yeah. Where we at, man? I don't know.
Nothing, man. We just talking, man. We're talking about COVID, of course. And first off, we're glad you're still here with us, bro, because you got over COVID.
Yeah.
Maybe got over COVID. And I told y'all this before, but I was kind of, telling, I guess, the viewers whenever we post this. I lost, a coworker to COVID. About the same, maybe a few years older than your lady, if that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was 39. Another gentleman, he may have been in his 40s and lost, he passed away from COVID. And then Chavez's sister, boyfriend, and he was elderly, but he died. It wasn't COVID, it was a bad car wreck, but it put things into perspective. It's like, man, like, this is really crazy out here. And once again, I'm glad you're here with us. And I know I've been seeming, you know, been seeming kind of, and I was telling Derek, been seeming kind of anal when it comes to like trying to get this podcast back going and trying to get things moving, because when you think about the time that we've kind of wasted on things that don't matter, and when we could have been putting that time into other things that can be setting up our family, you know what I mean? And I was kind of I didn't get to tell y'all this, but I kind of the other day I was talking to my other homie Sean. Shout out to Sean, my boy that I work with, and just a solid guy. We were just talking about things, and I was just got to talking about my mother, and Justin, I'm sure you probably feel this way too at times. I think I had sent y'all like a text in a group message, and I was like, I still ain't forgave myself, and how I feel, and I know people will tell me I can't put all this pressure on myself or whatever the case may be. But my mother, lost my mother back in late June 28th. And a part of me feel like, man, I wish I could have been, had a different way of thinking 10 years ago. I wish I could have put some things in place to put my mother in a better situation. Who knows, 10 years ago, if I would have started like what we're trying to do now, like I could have, we could have had better care for her, for all we know. And that's something I just got to get over and, live with. But, these are things that I definitely think about. And Justin, something else we talked about, and then, we can kind of, move on into crazy things that's going on in the world. But you look at our culture is nothing but trolls.
Yeah.
If you look on social media, it's like it's messing with people. We filming fights. We saying stuff like, yeah, y'all got them extra money on y'all food stamps. I know y'all refrigerators gonna be full, or I know that stimulus package done ran out. You feel what I'm saying? We nothing but trolls. But if we put that towards really trying to build something, you know what I mean? Everybody would be a little bit more well off. You know what I mean? That's all we are, trolls. And people like troll and make fun of other people just to get through life instead of addressing their own issue. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our culture.
A lot of trolls.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Filming fights. That's all people want to do is joke around. The crazy thing is Facebook was down today for a few hours. People act like they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Hey, they was losing it, man. They was going crazy over that. And I didn't even know it was down.
I didn't either.
I was at work, and my girl, she texted me, and she was like, "We trying to get on Facebook, it's messed up." And I was just thinking like, okay, maybe it's our phone, our service, but yeah, it was down for everybody. Yeah. And that's something I wanted to talk about too. Your boy, what's his name, Mark Zuckerberg?
We can use this as a segue. So yeah, go ahead.
Man, he lost $7 billion in those few hours.
True? I heard that. Was that true?
That's true. $7 billion.
I seen some type of post that was like, I forgot, some dude messaged him and asked him something, and he was like, "No, my lady, like, I left my phone in the car, so rather her check my messages, I had to do something from my laptop to shut it all down so I won't get caught in my messages."
Hey, yo, man, it was wild, man, because I read the little article because, his wealth is based off of how much money he accumulated at the moment. So, without the advertisement and the money that travels through Facebook, without that, that flow of money at the immediate time, that's a loss to his pocket. So I was like $7 billion though. So that's in a few hours. So that made me think of how much money truly coming through Facebook.
And then it's like, okay, so he's gonna make
a lot of money. People be sending cash, on the Facebook thing. So people
exactly. Cash is digital on Facebook. So it just numbers, it just code. So you can easily just put numbers into the system. Like that blew my mind though. I wasn't expecting us to read that after that shut down. But then no one still know why it shut down. Like Facebook ain't announced anything.
What you got in that cup right there?
No, this is juice. It's just juice.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's in a cup. He grown. Do your thing.
yeah. It's just juice. Arizona fruit punch. But yeah, man.
But no, it's
yeah.
it's crazy. But but like you said, dude, you was like, oh, I ain't even really noticed. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't even noticed until somebody had said something. And it's like, that just let you know how much time people spend on social media, man. My bad, Justin. Go ahead, bro.
I was just saying, like, we got some lagging. If she don't stop texting me, like we had some lagging.
You just a player, huh? Like, man, if she don't stop texting me, like I told her, I'll get over there when I feel like.
I'm on a podcast. I told you this. I don't care. I don't.
Hey, how your day been going, Justin?
Yeah, we get to ask you that, man.
It's been busy. It's been a busy, couple weeks. A whole lot of chaos.
Yeah.
We just got
life, man. It's just a different world right now, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's like losing their minds. Like,
in many different ways, though.
Dale and what is it? Sonya Curry divorcing. Like
LaToya Luckett was missing.
And what's the name was missing too? Wasn't she Kelly Price?
Okay, that's maybe who I was.
Okay, yeah, Kelly Price was missing.
Yeah, like that's
listen. And R. Kelly, and he just got 10, 15 years or something like that, or 25.
I thought they was trying to get him throw the book at him.
Yeah, I don't know what they sent him.
I don't think they sentenced him yet, but I know he was guilty on all counts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I thought he was getting more than 10, 15 years.
It's like 15, 25 or something like that. It says 15, 25.
Okay.
But I think, is it each charge carry that or something like, if this is what he getting, I think he got some other charges that he got to get sentenced for. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's wild, man.
You know what they finna do to him in there?
Nah, I don't know what they finna do to him in there. I don't know what they're gonna do. Hope he all right.
He's a musical genius, but he's sick in the head, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, so I don't know. You're rich. People come at you. People come at you if you broke. Right. You know what I'm saying? So,
but they also you also put in so many more situations that you would have been put in.
There's a lot of rich people out there.
Yeah.
Not all of them getting caught up like that.
Yeah, because they got that money.
But he got money. That didn't stop him.
But then when you look at like all the people that they came for, you can say somebody had to be guilty at some point. Like everybody isn't innocent, So
how many people was it? How many people that say? How many people?
I'm not talking about how many people came to him. I'm just talking about how.
You lag for a second.
Him, Michael. So on and so forth. Somebody guilty somewhere,
Yeah,
everybody can't be innocent.
I don't so if you go with
of course Cosby, I don't know, but
so this is how I've kind of looked at it. And anyone please forgive me if I'm getting it wrong. So it's kind of like three different levels for me, right? I honestly don't believe Michael Jackson's situation is true. I'm in between. I think it's possible, but I don't know about Bill Cosby. His could be true, you know what I mean? Depending on I don't know, honestly.
Right.
Then R. Kelly, I definitely believe it's true.
He's been giving us signs, man, since the beginning of time. Seems like you're ready.
Bro, when you really think about it, it's like he really that sick and arrogant.
And that what bothered me right there. When the song was about the girls, like that.
Been on the down low.
No, my bad.
Even that song, I think "Step in the Name of Love," he got a part on there, and he's like, "If they ask you why we did it,"
Yeah, you know what I'm
I thought
saying?
about
Like,
Hey,
that.
we did it for love.
I ain't gonna lie, like, dude, like
you
he go,
remind me
they
of my
go really do
G.
most. They go probably do another documentary about him when it's all said and done. Like, dude was a lyrical genius, but he was also sick in the head.
Yeah, man.
I mean, if you talented, you know,
They say it's a
what they say.
fine line, like
Yeah, it's a
between
very, you know
genius
what
and
I'm saying?
insanity. Like if you're super intelligent, and R. Kelly is super, and you know how I talk about his different forms of intelligence. He might not be that smart at all, as far he can't read or write or math, as Kenan Thompson would say on
Yeah.
that skit. But he
Yeah.
is a musical genius. But he's also sick in the head.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot. It's like it's so much been going on. Like, you know, R. Kelly.
Like what you sent us with Lil Fizz apologizing, man.
That's something else that happened too. Lil Fizz apologizing.
Did you see? I think you sent the one where he was on stage and he apologized.
No, he apologized on stage, and then I think they performed together. Omarion is a strong, like, humble dude, man. Like, I don't even know if he's humble, but he's a strong dude. And he moves like in silence.
But let me ask you this: like, truly, how sorry can you be? Honestly, you knew what you was doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I'm saying,
they
like that's
older than
what gets
us.
me.
They older than us. So, dude, you like in your 30s making a mistake like this, and now you saying you're sorry, like.
Yeah, like how sorry are you,
And I'm
or
gonna be
why
real
you
with you.
sorry?
I'm gonna be real with you, and
Oh,
just
he
because you got
flat out smashed. He just flat out smashed, or what was that situation? I mean, I know they got together, but
they
like,
were just messing around, like,
so
and they
when he
both,
go on tour, she'll sneak over his house.
You say what now?
When he go on tour, she'll sneak over Lil
Well, no,
Fizz
they
house.
claim that they wasn't messing around until, like, I guess, like right after the tour or around the end of the tour. But they was friends. Like Lil Fizz was friends with her and was there for her during a dark time. And then they ended up getting together
That's how they get you.
or whatever.
See, and how many tours do they go on? They on another tour right now.
No, that's Omarion. Y'all remember, like, Omarion, like, went on, I think, what is it called? The Millennium Tour, is that what it's called?
I thought that was all of them.
No, yeah, he kicked them off. He went on.
Oh, I remember that.
One tour, and then I think they did. Oh, it's another tour. If it ain't the Millennium Tour, it's another tour. But and that is, and he
is it like Most Wanted tour?
It might be Millennium Tour, but it's a tour with like Bow Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that is the Millennium Tour. I think it is.
Okay, but yeah, he kicked them off, and like he just did it himself. You know, he just did it, and with everybody else, and didn't have B2K.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Fizz, you want to know something messed up? I was kind of riding with them for a while. Like I was like, man, I was, I don't know. This was maybe a couple of years ago when I was a little bit more, I guess, naive to certain things. But I was like, oh, man, if it's true love, who can we say is true love? Maybe I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. But
that's messed up, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Lil Fizz is kind of, they say he's a sucker for love, and it's all love and hip hop, and that industry, that's just what it is. But I mean, he apologized to him, like you said, Derek. How sorry can you be? You like a full grown man. This ain't no 21-year-old mistake.
You was mad at him. He kicked you out the tour even to go hit his girl.
No,
like own up to it.
No,
you wanted to get back.
Like it was before he started messing with it, before he kicked him off the tour. That was like a calculated move by Omarion. You know what I mean? I think why he did that was they both was like on Love and Hip Hop. Omarion started back buzzing, and they was thinking about doing like a reunion, and Omarion kind of was like, "Nah, I'm getting my buzz back. Like I'm doing my own thing." You know what I mean? Or whatever. So, but it's crazy. It's he apologized.
It's sad, man.
It is. It is. I think I would if I was, Lil Fizz, it's like you apologize, I would say that's a real big man, but it's like, You know what I mean? And Omarion, I would say like he's calculated. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
He's calculated. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a lot going on to make you say like, wait, what? Hold on, what? Every time you look up, it's like another story. Will and Jada came out, which everybody pretty much knew that they, are in like a non-monogamous relationship and stuff. You know what I mean? That's kind of came out. Um,
It
Sonya
seems like
Curry.
they come out like and say that it seems like every like once 10 or
No, but
15
now it's
years.
like it's like official. They said it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like they ain't never said it. I don't believe.
okay.
So
I remember one time in the interview, they didn't particularly say that they was in that type of relationship, but they made it very clear that they can do what they please at times. And I think that was in maybe like we was in high school or something. And I remember that was buzzing for a little bit
and I
because that's
say
always been a known thing to me that they was in an open relationship.
everybody that was like the worst kept secret. One of the worst out, you know what I mean, in Hollywood. But I don't know. That ain't for me. You know what I mean? This whatever works for you. I'm like y'all know me, man. I'm still kind of like a hopeless romantic. Like I wanted to be one woman, and all of that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if
yeah.
I could.
Pretty traditional, huh?
Yeah, but that's me, and that's me right now. Maybe it could change. I don't know, but like I just want one woman. I don't want no outside stuff. Justin, I see you shaking your head.
Look, I'm gonna say, what about you, Justin? How you feel? Because I'm not big on the terms, but the poly relationship is growing. Like that's getting pretty big.
Yeah,
Couples and stuff.
Should have been to happen, man.
So you saying if your lady try to ask another dude, you cool with it?
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm always open to anything except for that. But everything else, I'm open to.
Mm.
I mean, you never know. I really think, and I said this before, like I believe that's going to be actual, like you're gonna start having to put on your paperwork, single, married, throuple, things like that. Because everything is evolving,
It is.
Yeah. When you look at it, it makes sense, financially. It does, Now you got 3 people paying bills, helping, and then, as far as sexual,
guy, man.
as far as like sexual, you got options and they got options too. It's not just you. You can go to work and they can do whatever they want to. I mean, that could be bad if you come home and they like, oh, I'm tired. I don't really feel like it. I know what y'all been doing all day. And then they'll be like, well, you know what we've been doing.
But those things you got to think about, though. The things you got to think about.
Nah.
But yeah, so yeah, man, it's a lot going on in the world, man. It's crazy. Even just in our little, our little circle, if you don't even branch out, it's still a lot going on.
I mean, Reggie Court, we don't know our friend Reggie, even though it's been a lot ups and downs, but Reggie went to court the other day. We don't know what happened with that. I hope it went well. I don't know.
I tried to search, the system. I couldn't find it nowhere. Yeah. And it had almost every, his whole rap sheet, but it didn't have anything previous.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I think he was in like Hendersonville or something, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Yeah, I hope, what I'm saying? I hope he beat that, I hope he come back stronger than ever, That's all I can hope, though.
Yeah. It's funny how things work, man. It may be, the time we need, the separation from certain people, it possibly could benefit him.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot. And I think people do need to hear,
Because I wouldn't mind, what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind, putting money on his books or, what I'm saying, go visit him, see what's up with him, But I just been super busy, man. I ain't really had time to do nothing these past 2 weeks other than work. That's it, man.
Yeah. It's crazy, I guess, like, man, why do we continuously make these decisions? Like this book I've been reading, I need to get back to reading. I kind of, been pausing, but it's The Mastery of Destiny. And it just talks about how the decisions we make is the decisions that we make, it kind of like pretty much, and I'm gonna just go through this real quick. Most people try to put like free will and destiny against each other. Like if everything is already preordained, like how do we have free will? And in this book, it kind of talks about how it merges together. So pretty much we have free will, but our destiny is the consequences from the choices that we make with our free will. You know what I mean? So we can't control the consequence. So like you can speed on a highway, but you can't control if a police officer is going to pull you over or not. You have the free will not to speed though. You know what I mean? You can do this. So it's like we constantly make these decisions that kind of set us up for bad luck or like for bad things to happen.
Listen, I'm still paying for everything, my past life. You know, and some of it wasn't me. It was just wrong place, wrong time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? You know, but it is what it is. I actually got court tomorrow, so you know.
Yeah, wishing you luck with that.
Yeah, you know, I'm so sick of these motherfuckers, man. I'm sick of these.
Nah, seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, but you got to break it down to like, you got to break it down to even the most simplest forms. Like,
yeah.
When you and you know, I'm not gonna go into your situation because that's your situation, but I am going to just speak in general. Like when you lay down with a woman, you know what I mean. You know, you're making that choice to lay down with her through your free will, but you can't control the destiny of potentially having a baby mother from hell. You know what I mean? You can't control whatever may come from it. But these are the decisions that kind of like this is the destiny that's a result of the decisions, you know what I mean, that we've kind of set in motion. And it's a constant like repeat of itself. Like, you find yourself, some dudes, we find ourselves in situations and be like, I don't know how this happened. Like, or the worst case scenario happened. And they be all shocked and it's like, man, your decisions led you to this point.
Yeah. I seen that from a mile away.
You know what I mean? I could have told you this was going to happen, or it could potentially happen. So if it could potentially happen, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so many dudes do that. So many dudes locked up and be like, man, I promise you, I'm changing after this, man. I'm changing. Or they get out and they can't get a job. And they're like, man, I can't get a break. But you got to understand the decisions that you've made up until this point has gotten you right here. Mm-hmm. All the small decisions, for the most part, that we made has gotten us here. Like,
and what it is in those moments, making those decisions, not factoring how big the consequence is. And I've always been a victim of that. Like the obvious consequence is if I get caught stealing, I could get locked up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, stealing might not, depending on how much, prices come in, it's less than 500, it's not much, but still, just for an example. But not thinking that could potentially be a felony. So yeah, I might get out and I'm still young, but that felony hanging over me, like just the in-depth of the consequences, something that a lot of people doesn't factor. And I can't speak for people outside of my environment where I grew up, but where we from, you know what I'm saying, just in that rare moment, not thinking about it, and it's just that mentality of just living in a moment. Sometimes that can be a burden on you. Sometimes that can be just not the right way to think because, it's a life outside of that. The way we grew up, we didn't think that we wasn't going to be there forever. It felt like we was always going to be there. Like, of course, we could think about, moving there, at the time, Hermitage or Antioch or something.
Now, why was that? Time out real quick. Why was that like the goal, though? Like
that was the closest place. You know what I'm saying?
We
That
was
felt
looking
like
to
you
get the
had some
Hermitage
money.
of Antioch to make it out the hood, man.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
made
I
it.
can remember that's all we had. But look,
Yeah.
we never thought West. We never thought Bellevue, nothing like
We
that.
didn't think Brentwood. We thought Hermitage
Glen,
or
none of
Antioch.
that.
Yeah, we never thought none of
Preferably
that.
Hermitage. Like,
Yeah, man. So, you know, man, and that's where something that has to change. That's something that mindset has to be altered early. You gotta get him early because, you know, like us, you know, Rod came as highlight, but honestly, he was slightly too late for the group that, you know, he came in.
yeah.
So, man,
By the
you know,
time he
that's
caught,
something
but
that,
even Rod, like we spending 2 hours a day with him. Even if he would have caught us at like 7 or 8. Chances are most of us still would have been doing the things we did because most of our time was spent around BS or unhealthy, things.
it was right outside the door. Like, soon as you open the library door, it's just pouring right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, just couldn't get away from it, man. And all we needed was some type of leadership. You know, you had those select few people that was doing things, but they wasn't close enough for us to have a bigger impact as, you know, someone else
didn't
could
care,
have.
or they had scandals of their own, which everyone is
True.
not perfect, but like Rod is who we had, and truth be true, he was white. So we could relate to him and he could relate to us, but not fully. Who else do we have? Like community centers? And I've talked.
You should call Rod right now. Bring him on up.
Yeah, we'll have him on. We'll have him on.
Just have him pop up.
We'll have him on one day. You know what I mean? But
Rod,
yeah, I mean, we got to ask him a lot, and just from his perspective.
How's your wife?
What'd you say?
I said, how's your wife doing? That would be one of my questions.
Yeah, Rod gonna mess around and put him up with you.
Man, yeah, you ask about this, disrespect his family. That's the only time Rod just might put him up, though.
Hey, that's why
the family.
I remember being younger and just messing with him, about his wife, every time. And I see it in his eyes. He did not like that.
Nah, I bet he did. You probably use a boy.
Why you gotta come on, man? You know what I'm saying? You hear this voice, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, man,
But now, I don't want to, we can't make this go on too long. We probably gotta get ready to wrap this up. It is getting late. We all got things to do tomorrow.
I don't know what time is it.
It's past 9 o'clock, so it's 9:08. You know what I mean? So, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. I mean, I just want to say, I guess the big picture of this episode is like, stop being trolls. Start to really work on yourself. People will say like, man, Jeremy, stop all that preaching. You know what I mean? They typically tell me that, but I'm just trying to help y'all out, and get y'all to set stuff up with your family. You want to make a better way for your kids, or it's going to be a cycle to keep repeating. So just, try to take every day and try to just work on one thing. You know what I mean? Stop trolling. Like, just stop trying to troll others. How can you get ahead if you're spending most of your time, I don't know.
That's not people's mindset, man. People so small-minded, man, that they don't even know what they're doing, and let alone care what they're doing as far as the hating and trolling goes. And then, it's just, it's levels to this shit, man.
Yeah.
It's levels to, like, it's for real levels to this
like,
shit.
How do you break a mindset of someone that they've been living in for 10, 15 plus years?
Man, shoot, 20, 30 years to be honest.
Yeah, for some, for a lot of people, we up to age, and then like we were slightly different because we didn't sit in that mindset. Even at the moment, we could always pull ourselves out and just sit back and look at it like, nah, man, this is us at the moment, but this is, of course, not what we want to be. And I'm glad we held on to that, because that's the only thing that kept me afloat. Not even dreams and goals. I really never had dreams and goals, but more like like wishes, or just the way it can be, just the
Right.
idea of how it can be. That's the only thing. Honestly, hope is basically all we got.
You got to take that step, and everybody got a talent. Everybody got something they're gifted at. They just got to find a way to, channel that into doing something that can, be beneficial to them.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why we started this. We want to get people on to like share their gifts, and we had your cousin on, we had Eric on.
Because that's one of the hardest parts, because it takes effort. And that's what our people like it. When you go to our neighborhood, man, it's the effort. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to sit back and go to that day labor, go to that job where you can go anytime, you can quit anytime, you can go back to government assistance. Then not only that, you got somebody in the same situation that you can enjoy it with. You can laugh with, talk about the same struggles, that makes it easy. So, man, that's one thing is just tough to do.
The funny thing is, and we've said this before, the formula is very simple. It's the work is hard. So if you're going to work hard anyway, you might as well put it towards something you're good at and try to like possibly start your own business. Or if not,
even
if
and that's where we come
in
at, man. Allow just to make it just one step easier. You know what I'm saying?
One step easier. Like, we're willing to promote anyone. You know what I mean? And put the money behind, to promote them, because we want to see people, exceed and do things that they love. You know what I mean? People just don't get it. Like, if you're gonna work, 8 to 10 hours a day anyway, or if you're gonna drive all day anyway, put that energy towards something as well. You know what I mean? I just, but even if you don't want to go that route, learn the system and elevate up in the organization. You know what I mean? Work your way up to manager. Like, you can still make a good living.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
man,
higher.
Yeah, I've just been, when I get time, I learn about finances and stuff like that. And, one of the things that us as Black people are terrible at is saving money, man.
Definitely. I'm still struggling with that, because every time you look up, there's something going on, but you got to maneuver.
I've been on that, learning that, man. And, just, man, figured out my steps, man. What I'm saying? That's all I can do,
My key to saving is just not doing shit. And it sucks, but that's the only way I can save. If I say, man, for this whole month, I'm not gonna go out. I'm gonna eat this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I can save, just completely not do nothing. That's one of the toughest things.
Even when I don't, like, it's still at times something that come up. Because lately I haven't been doing much, but it's still something that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's a struggle.
Rich people got 2-3 bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? They got savings, checking.
But they also, unless they was just doing something, unless they like trust fund babies, they all had to work hard for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And the work, it's no way around working hard. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to work hard regardless, whether it's for another job, or whether it's for yourself, or whatever. But work hard for another job. But take that money and put it towards something else. That's one of the things. Like I follow Dame Dash a lot. You know what I mean? And that's what he's about. Like, you work at a job, take it and invest in yourself.
Man, and that's something everybody's about. Even Louis Farrakhan say, how much, he speak about the man, or, he, of course, he pro-Black. He even say, like, don't just quit your job now. You know what I'm saying? You stack that money and put it towards something of your own, however you, and I'm saying that to say, that's something that everyone believes in. The hard work has to be done. You know what I'm saying?
There's no way around it.
There's no way around it. Of course, you can say, I can't just leave this job. I got to pay my bills. Okay, you got to work even harder just to put money aside so you can leave that place. Like the hard work, and that's something that I'm learning to swallow. I almost got it down, and it's just going down tough. Like, but then what I think about all the work that I've already put into other people's jobs. You know what I'm saying? All the time that I put in to help someone else's business grow. that's what's allowed me to say, okay, I don't want to keep putting that same amount of time in someone else's business. You know what I'm saying? So
even if you're going
one
to, you know,
one pill to swallow.
And even if you're going to work, oh, go ahead, Justin.
Especially, you know, if it's that easy to replace you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, man, I just believe, man, you know, it's time for me to, you know, step up my finances and just learn as much as I can, man. That's weird. That's it. That's what I'm on right now. You know, working.
And we can pass that on to our children and our kids. You know what I mean? Like that's the goal. And just if we can, whatever Lord's willing, you know, we can reach. You know what I mean? And we reach here. If we can bring our kids and start them here with us, you know what I mean? Then they're gonna reach, you know, twice as far as where we reach. Lord's willing, you know, if they, you know, if their head is on straight, you know what I mean, and everything. But we just gotta continue. But I mean, but spending this, going back to what we started with, like spending this time trolling others and downing others. That's our culture, downing other people. Downing other people all the time.
I don't be on Facebook no more like that. Like
it's negative, baby. Like, it's negative.
Like
it's really negative. It's really negative. And instead of trying to like fix yourself so you can be a better person for you and your family, you're trying to talk about how another person isn't fixed. You're trying to talk about what's wrong with this person, this person, this person, this person. Or you're worried about things that don't matter. Everybody our age, we're in our 30s now. Everybody our age, man. And I ain't gonna knock it because you got, you know, want to be a video vixen or, you know, still trying to be a rapper. Nothing wrong with it. Like, but if you're gonna do it, really do it. Like, focus in on your craft. Don't just halfway do it. But everybody want to be a troll and want to point out what's wrong with other people, but instead of looking inside and fixing themselves.
Yeah, man, that's like a sickness right there, boy. People quick to tell you about yourself or about somebody else, man.
Yeah, people quick to talk about other people. Like literally trolls. You know what I mean? Like I can, you know, like who have time to sit and think about some of the stuff? You know what I mean? And now it is, and I do like to be on Facebook for some. I follow some positive pages and everything like that. But the stuff that people like post, like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And you know, social media just makes it that much easier since, you know, you can do it shit 10, 20, 100,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And you can do it shit how many times you want to.
Convenient. It's convenient, man. You know, if it's convenient, it sells. If it's convenient, it works.
I think, you know, we just got to try to get people to see the fault in their own action. The funny thing is, once again, we're still fighting that. People will see us and be like, man, they make it, they doing it good. Like, if y'all only knew the struggles that I go through daily in many different areas of my life. Still. And probably will continue to go through. We can just try to hope that our kids won't go through.
Yeah, man. But you know, honestly, I think it's one thing that you could probably say that's permanent. You know what I'm saying? The struggle. Even our kids, they're gonna have their own type of struggles. You know, we might not want them to struggle the way we struggle.
But yeah, they're gonna have a
way we struggle. But that's something. You know, we just, you know, just hope we raise them right, man. You know, just give them all the tools and skills and keys they need for success. Because, you know,
if you look, and Justin, you wasn't actually in it, but you was a part of it and all the other projects as well. We did a documentary. Teenagers, you know, kids hoping for the best, knowing we're still going back to our same neighborhood. You can see the transformation of some of the kids. And I'm not gonna say their name. Well, I will, like, rest in peace, Rashad, Rashad Fisher. But it's crazy how quick of a transformation it can make. I've seen so many peers, people our age, but also kids that I used to work with, man. They would be so like, they would be such amazing kids or cool kids into different things. You look up, they doing the same old thing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody want their respect. Everybody want to be hood famous. And Marlon Wayans said this, and you know, we get influenced by those around us, but also, you know, parents at times. So even if you look at a lot of people from our culture that kind of don't live in a hood, or some of us that do, but how they affect their kids. You know, and Marlon Wayans said it best, you know, because I think Marlon Wayans talks about how he don't really believe in beating his children. You know what I mean? Now that they're at a certain age, well, his kids are grown now, but back when they were teenagers and, you know, younger kids, but not, you know, old enough to understand, he would talk to them. And, you know, he was like, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but beat my kids for what? You know, they don't really solve anything. He said parents need to fix themselves and raise great people rather than trying to beat your children. He said something in the nature of that. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I remember when you said that.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because you look at so, and I work with kids. You know what I mean? And I have since I've been out of high school, pretty much. And when you see such amazing kids, and when you see how sometimes their parents, unfortunately, but when you see how society,
some kids need the ass whooped though. Some of them need the ass whooped.
Oh, I think yes.
Some of them are fearless.
And when you say that, you speak about the ones who's already at a certain age, and you saying that by you know, whatever they done at a certain moment. But if you go back to what Jeremy's saying, you know, it could have been something that could have been done to them early in life that prevented them from needing the ass whooping later at some point in life. Because you know, by me raising kids and my kids, you know, and they age is different. You know, DJ 9 and my daughter, she just turning 1. Like I can't even remember the last time I actually whooped DJ, because he's at the age where he fully understands. And early in his years, I got onto him, or not, I ain't gonna say get onto him, but I was able to teach him the basics of right and wrong. So, you know, I don't have to say you better not steal, you better not take, or, you know, little stuff like that. I gotta tell him to turn his game off, don't have it on all night, you know, little stuff like that.
The funny thing is DJ is like a lot like you. A whole lot charming, you know what I mean? He tried to, and I remember it was at your daughter's 1-year birthday party, and he wasn't doing something. You had to pop him, and he was, and the thing is, he looked at me like I was gonna save him. Like he looking at me, and then he looking at you, hoping you don't come and get him. But like,
and those be, and I call that like attention grabbers. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just gotta grab his attention. You know, he be lost in his thoughts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's about all he'll get. I hit him, tap him in the head or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's about all. But you know, it all breaks down to the teaching early in life. You gotta grasp a child early. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it also makes it tough when you still dealing with your issues. You still working out, you know, finally navigating your own way through life. I mean, in a lot of situations, that's how it always been. Even in the hood, like, you know, no matter the age you had a child, like that, everybody had some messed up issue going on. So it was always tough for a child, you know what I'm saying, that we were raised around the children to be very progressive in life, or to, you know, to see success as, you know, reachable. And that's always going to be a battle, man.
Yeah, and I think, you know, and Justin, feel free to chime in whenever you're ready. I think when they're young, when they don't understand, sometimes you got to pop them. If a kid get too close to like a socket or something, pop them, or if they're doing something because they don't really comprehend as well. as they get older, I think you do
What you mean,
try to like pop their hand or something. Like no, like
okay.
Like the hit pop, like not.
Yeah.
I mean, but how you act around your kids, what do you expect? Like I've seen, and I'm gonna say, excuse my language before I say this, but a couple that I knew, I went to like middle school with them. They used to live behind my mother or whatever. He was looking for his son. His son could have been no more than 3, maybe 4. You know what I mean? And he over there looking for him like, Junior. He was like, hey, bring your punk ass around here. Like, seriously, man. Like, if you act like that around your kids or talk to your kids like that, what do you expect? You know what I mean? I've seen, and I'm not gonna call. Yeah, I've seen somebody.
Or they gonna have depression. You know what I'm saying? Or have some personal issues,
or
mental health.
that PTSD possibly, and that's how they're gonna react to conflict. So don't be surprised when you get a call up to the school and your kid done cuss the teacher out. You know what I mean? I've seen a dude, and I ain't go, and y'all know who this is because we talked about it. I'm not gonna call him out. He was beefing with somebody, and he's on live with his son.
Okay, yeah.
Talking about, if y'all don't like it, tell him, son. SMD.
I don't know who. I mean, you can't really say it.
Yeah, because I don't want to. And first off, I don't want to.
You don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm not going to tell anyone how to raise their kids, but understand every.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Every action has a reaction. You know what I mean? Every choice we make, it might come with a consequence that you can't control.
Yeah, man. And it can be the smallest thing. Like, we watch football and, football, the atmosphere, you screaming, yelling at the TV, loud. And my daughter, she loved it. And she just be running through screaming. Like every time somebody yells, she yelled, she clapped her hands, don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
Of course, I don't see that could be anything bad besides, a little bit behavior problems in school, maybe, you can get a little too excited or something besides that. But little stuff like that, just the smallest thing we have to be aware of. And if you're not focused enough, if you got so much other stuff going on, it's easy for your child to slip into whatever habits or way of life that they can, without you even knowing. And then, and it pisses me off when you look at, I don't know where he or she got that from. Like that statement right there.
Yeah. You know exactly where they got it from.
But after saying all that, I'm going to say this, and maybe, I could be biased, or it could be an effect of social media. I will say this, our generation, we are for the most part, we are amazing parents. I will say this, you see all type of like people taking trips with their kids, just getting their kids in extracurricular activities, so proud of their report cards, it's kind of funny because they do the first day of school pics, which is, funny, but for the most part, we have great parents. Unfortunately, some people need to do some more inner work to fix themselves and heal their own trauma in order not to pass that trauma along to their kids.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of that, that's a great point because I can say our generation is probably the last generation that got really the whoopings, the real deal whoopings. So our generation probably is the generation that pushed the envelope on changing the way we raise our kids and taking out actual, beatings and, et cetera, and trying to talk to them. But, we still didn't add any punishment. That's timeouts.
Yeah, no. But Justin, back to what you were saying, me, and I don't have biological children. From the outside looking in, there are some kids that need their butts whooped. Mm-hmm. However, this is speaking from a person that that's looking at the child once the child is already, older.
At a certain age.
Like that. And they're already set in their ways. Like one thing I don't mind the child getting their, butt whooped behind is disrespect. You don't disrespect adults. That's something my mother taught me. You fight another kid and, kids are going to get into it. You disrespect an adult.
You know what I'm saying? That's what gets to me. You know what I'm saying? Disrespecting, adults. You know what I mean? the mother, the dad, whoever. Like that, it gets me. Like I be ready to, throw hands.
But typically, that's a result of like something that the mother and father allow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the time. Everybody's different. Kids are different, but a lot of times it's a result of what the child has seen or what the child is allowed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I can almost say that's probably like almost 99% of the time, because a child is going to do what anyone allowed them to do. Who's ever raising them, who's ever watching them, who's ever around them, they're going to do what they allow them to do. If you don't allow a child to do something, 9 times out of 10, a child won't do it. Of course, they would try it. And then once they learn, and they if they can comprehend well, once they learn they can't do it, then they will not do it. And, we've been around kids as long as, pretty much we've been born. We all got siblings, cousins. Jeremy, you work with kids, I had my time, and they always the same. Like a child's going to do what you allow them to do. Then, of course, like you say, when they already set in their ways, of course, they're going to do something. But then even that, you get enough time with a child, you can alter that. You can change that if you put in the effort, So I almost have like, I almost don't give no wiggle room in that situation. Of course, it's just conversation. I'm not going to tell no one how to raise their child, but if they was to ask me my opinion, that's how I would, definitely give it to them. And that's speaking from experience by having children, being around children. They going to do what you allow them to do. And, it be the moments where a child is 1 or 2 and, they saying stop and this and that. Like my daughter, she does it. Like, and that's because she heard us. Like, that's the only way we could get her to not to do something. The only words, she could understand stop, no, and, just the basics. So that's something that I'm right now learning to offer, because she can't go to pre-K telling, somebody to stop. She ain't gonna never be able to play fair saying stop. And, it is always started at home or who they're around the most.
And it's interesting how you see some kids that start off, I'm talking like dope, amazing kids with amazing personalities, and then we can even go off of people that we grew up with, and then we grow up, and you see them turn to something else. You know what I mean? And then you got some kids that start off bad, and they end up being the ones that go off to college and stuff because even though they started off a little rocky, their parents stayed on them, and they ended up just staying on that path that their parents kind of set for them. But it's
then
really
also I'm a fan of it just accepting, if you know that it's nothing that you can pretty much do in regards of, putting the time and the effort to raising your child right. I believe in it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Then of course everybody's situation is the same. Growing up in the hood, it's a lot of families who didn't have other families. It was only them. In situations like this, not much you can do. That's why I'm also a fan of seeing that and noticing that. Like, even when I go, my mom, my mama still live in the project. So I go in there, I see kids, hey, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I know them, how you doing, you good. I always try to, be that one to give out the $1 or $2 just to give them, that always was a great feeling. You know what I'm saying? That family friend or something, always, just check on you. Like everybody, they all need that support in some type of way.
And
I ain't saying, everyone can't be a big brother out here, but
true. And I think I'm becoming, soft in a way, because I see kids arguing about the fight, and it's like, what are y'all doing? Now, granted, when you're kids, you fight, younger kids, you fight, but like, what are y'all really? Sometimes, as friends, you got to fight it out, but what are y'all really doing? You know what I mean? Like, did y'all try to resolve this in any other type of way? Because once again, that anger. So, and this is my issue with people recording fights and everything. That anger leads to possible retaliation, or that's the same anger that's inside of you when you do want to actually possibly get a firearm or get some other weapon to hurt someone.
And speaking on that, flipping on the outside, not even the anger. I think the embarrassment of getting beat up on camera is worse than the anger.
You think some people like would be cool with that, knowing that's gonna follow them wherever?
Yeah, like nah, man.
Like, no, I
Man,
can't let this go. And
I
some
can't
dudes
let this
don't.
go.
Some people don't even want to attempt to lose. They don't even want to attempt to fight.
Right. They don't want to take a chance.
Yeah, so it's we still got a lot of work to do. We want to encourage people to be their best selves, but they gotta want to take that step.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta want to do better. So man, we ain't gonna hold people up, and I don't want to hold y'all up. We're just gonna say, try to be your best self. Stop being trolls. Stop being a troll. And fix yourself. So you can be a better person, and so that you can raise great children. In the words of Marlon Wayans. So with that being said, we're gonna close this thing out, man. Unless y'all got something else to say.
Nah, man. Shoot.
That's what I got to say. Just spend
no effort.
Spend no effort.
Hope the Titans do something better this week.
We were trying to end on a positive note, man.
You spend no effort.
Yeah, tighten up, spare no effort, Titans. You know what I mean? Spare no effort when you're out there in the game.
For real, like seriously. I'm ready to start watching basketball now.
In the words of Shannon Sharp, nothing in the tank.
Consider
put the trip on.
I consider finding a new team.
Nah.
Maybe it's time for me to switch.
Nah, man, I can't switch on a home team. Man.
I was like, I'll just stop watching.
Look, I just got to pull my emotions out of it. That's it. Just pull my emotions out of it, man.
Well, spend no effort because I do gotta get up in the morning, and y'all wish me luck.
Good luck, man. Make sure you let us know what happens. Be praying for you.
Well, I don't think nothing gonna happen this time, but I got 2 more coming up. I got one the next day, and then I got one more the 11th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got like 3 of them. All of them should be cool though. Every single one of them. But it's the fact that I gotta go.
I mean, you got to go to court that much when you're dealing with a murder charge.
Go to what?
Hey, he beat that last murder, but man, they trying to get him with this one, ain't they?
Hey.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Look, he ain't gonna speak on that. Look.
That's funny though, because real quick, and y'all know the guy, he's actually married now, but I remember when he was talking to the guy, the homie Royce or whatever. And when he was, before he got, with his now wife or whatever, he was dating and stuff. It was this young lady that worked with us, and they were kind of talking. And I'm like, oh, and she actually worked with me. So I'm like, oh yeah, y'all talk, that's cool, man. He's a good guy or whatever, And casually, I was like, yeah, he didn't even get convicted on that one murder though, or whatever. And she looked like, oh, okay. I was like, no, I'm just playing. Oh man, but
I'm scared the shit out of him.
Yeah, that's probably why she didn't talk to her no more. But
what you gotta do is,
hey,
get your fake body. Get your fake body, pull up to his house, be like, here you go. It's done. And just drop the body off.
Right.
Hey, man, thinking about it though, like she probably should he probably right, because he probably think he trying to be a preacher. He trying to change his life.
Preacher change his life, Come on up, brother. Me and this brother done did all type of dirt together. How Malcolm X was.
Yeah. Hey,
come on, brother, don't act like you don't know me, brother. Me and this brother right here have done all type of things, robbing folk, stealing from folks, selling drugs, killed a couple of people,
Like, Jeremy, what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, that's hilarious, man. But we're gonna get on up out of here. Spend no effort, stay tuned, and just try to be your best self. Try to wake up every day and just try to do one thing to try to make you a better person. Stop trolling people. Take that energy and invest it into yourself, whatever that looks like. So, fellas, it's been a pleasure. Spare no effort, Justin. Good luck. We got to get up and get things going. So stay tuned, everybody. Spare no effort.
Thanks for listening to the Spare No Effort podcast. We out.